For the latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Attwoolls Outdoors with me, Mike. Today I'm giving you a bit of a review video on a new tent from Outwell. So with me here today, I've got the Outwell Montana 4 Air. I know what you're thinking, Montana's not new. So what Outwell actually did for the new season is they've actually kind of redesigned a lot of the models and actually brought back a lot of historic old names and designs and given them a nice big tweak. So the Montana actually sits in kind of Outwell's kind of premium collection, so it's a collection designed to be sort of top end spec, but not necessarily the biggest in terms of pack sizing or sort of weight for that matter. So it's very feature rich, but more importantly in terms of specification, we're running with a 6,000mm hydrostatic head, so it's a really strong waterproof rating. Runs actually as a rip stop material and runs around about 150D or 800 grams per square meter. So it's a nice. It's got a nice thick feel to it as well, but in terms of the way it sits as well, it's worth mentioning there's also a Montana 6, so essentially everything we see feature-wise, but on a much bigger scale, whereas this is more like a 4. Maybe it's probably more a sort of a type 4. I see it's personally more as sort of couples, or if you're looking sort of small families, maybe a family of 3. I think this way it ticks a lot of boxes. Overall, the weight you're looking just a shy bit over 20 kgs for this, but it's got a lot to it. So what we've got is obviously a sleeping area and then a main sort of living area. So the living area is obviously quite decent size considering it's obviously a small 4, compact 4. One thing that makes it different, I think personally, is the tubes and when they've done it. We've almost got this little kind of storage section, or for me, it's going to be when it rains, it's your wet area you'd come directly into before going into your lovely clean and carpeted section. So the only caveat with that is you do have to duck in to get into the main body if you're not going directly through the front door. But for me, great place to store your shoes before entering your tent itself. It's got each beam is done individually, so there's only sort of 3 beams to pump up, so it means it's very quick and easy to pitch. The beam's located obviously on the outside here, so you've got an inflation manual stirrup pump to inflate it at 1, 2 and 3 points. The valve's like a dinghy style valve, so it's very easy to get the air in but also out as well. But for me, it's the workmanship that you get. It's a nice TPU tube, so it's again strong, robust tube system that's been tried and tested for a number of years. You get a 2-year warranty standard with Attwoll as well, so again that's sort of backed up, for what they do. But everything is done for a purpose. The way they seal the ground sheets is very thorough. Even things like the guide points here, it goes into 2 points into the seams. Just it means it gets a bit more, rough and ready. Distributes the weight rather than having one single point that takes the load, and also helps you to sort of orientate how and where you need to peg. High visibility guidelines with runners as well means it's easy to adjust. You haven't got to re-peg everything as you go. Down the bottom points, pretty much everything's a webbing strap as well, so you can get it in and get the tension on it as you need to. Along out the sides, we've got obviously the high visibility guidelines, but at the front, we've got webbing straps front and back to get a great amount of torsion. And even with webbing straps, for example, they go into the seam the full way up, again, spreading that load. So again, something that Outwell do that not any other brand tends to do as well. Your living area is going to be pretty much your designated living area as well. So it's one big open section, fully sewn in ground sheet throughout. And the front door, as we can see here, can open sort of halfway or fully sort of open. It sort of then rolls back in a nice neat little bundle to the left hand side. But more importantly, the lip that creates a sort of trip-free access in and out of the tent itself drops down but zips the whole way through. So you do get, oops daisy, a proper feel throughout the whole way. The front door also has different options. So what you find is actually you've got a ventilation part in the door as well as a window. So if you want that sort of bug-free barrier, that one is a big sort of tick box. So if I just zip this up, again, like I said, you can have the door halfway. What you find is there's a big PVC window at the front and a mesh panel down beneath. So when I zip this door up, like I said, we can undo the mesh like so. So that's your mesh panel built into it. So when it's raining, of course, then you would do that up, so you haven't got the sort of the rain coming in. But then what you can undo is kind of untoggle the front part of the window, so you still get plenty of then light directly in. So it's a really nice kind of compromise, rather than having it fully mesh and then fully window. So it's a good way of getting around it. So, and then it just rolls away. And toggles back like so. Just keeps it all neat and tidy. But the main thing, because that ground sheet zips up and you have that sort of bug-free barrier, you know, you have the light on at night inside, kind of like we have now, and you're not having kind of all of the bugs and the critters coming directly into the main body of the tent. So, and even the side door with the mesh zips along the bottom and then around the top as well. Other points to make you aware of is things like the Outwell night light system. So it's there. Basically, there's a beading that they use sort of internally as a hook track. So this also allows you to buy the nightlight system as like a little fluorescent tube. You can pop that into it, attach it on, so it basically slides on there, and then you can light the external point up. So when you get remote control with it, you can press the button. It will identify obviously where the zip is and give you a little bit more like an ambient light to go by. Personally, you can use it in the main body itself, but it's not a light that you're going to read by. It's a very dull light. It's something more for probably when the lights are off and your eyes are adjusted to it. You can probably see about where you're going, but you're not going to read by it or be able to live by it. So an extra bit of lighting is still going to be required pretty much for that itself. In fact, let's bring the camera around a second just to kind of look down and into the main body. So now we're sort of around the front of the tent. You can probably appreciate for sort of the size. I think with a table and chairs in here, you are going to take up a lot of the space. It is more designed as probably like a couple's or a small family. But headroom height is pretty good. You've got this kind of peaky, Gothic arch kind of system. So I'm about 6'2". You can stand up in here quite happily. The sides are actually a little pre-angled as well, so that helps to get the sort of furniture closer to the side. We also got a PVC window on the front side here as well, which is slightly tinted, so you get an element of privacy. But more importantly, you have zip curtains to zip it up sort of halfway or fully up and adjust it as you need to. Beneath that, we've got low-level ventilation as well, to help airflow and kind of keep it fresher inside of here. And we've got that full mesh side door as well, which zips along the bottom, as previously mentioned. When we move into the living area, what we've got is essentially a 2 and 2 berth. There's about 120 width in each bedroom, so you're not going to fit 2 double air beds in there really. You probably get one, and then probably something like basically I'd say it's a 2 and a 1. The divider between the two sections is zipped on either side, so you can actually zip that up and toggle that up along top, but it is a physical zip, so it feels like a separate bedroom, certainly along the sides anyway, at least. The front of the actual door panel has a mesh part to it as well, so it helps to get airflow directly into the tent, or if you want a little bit of light, you obviously drop that down, so that's a really nice option. The master bedroom, which is the one on the right hand side here, also has Outwell's quick and quiet door system, so its ability to kind of enter the tent without using zips, or the inner tent I should say. So it's designed that my zip is up. Rather than using zips, essentially what you can do is open up. Helps if I've prepped this, but so what you can do is basically open up, walk into it, then basically magnets shut the door behind you, and as previously mentioned, you've got then mesh to allow you to kind of come in and out as you wanted to. But nice easy way of doing it, quite nice. Something that I've done for a number of years now, so it's just something you can kind of add to their arsenal. If you don't want to use it, you can still use it like a conventional door. You haven't got to use that magnet system, but it's quite nice having that extra feature kind of built onto it. Outwell's hook track system is situated on both the main 2 beams in the living section. So what you can do is, like we have here, suspend a light across it, and then you've got your main dining light over the top, so it helps to give that kind of homely feel. You can utilise it to buy sort of things like organisers that can come down and help you to kind of declutter your tent. But you do have organisers built into the bedroom compartments on the bottom, both on either side, and there's also a little cable entry point located down the bottom of that side, so you can run the cable directly into your compartment, so you can get some lighting in as well, or phone chargers. We've also got a little cable entry point located at the front, so again it helps to get it into the main body, and then you can also then run the lead up along the hook track system if you really want to. The bedroom's a little bit deeper than your standard bedroom as well, about 230 deep, so it means you want to put a camp bed in, you can do, because obviously you're allowing for that pitch. Normally with sort of bedrooms with a slope at the back, the higher you go, the more you cut into that pitch, so it means you have to make the bed smaller. With this, because you've got a deeper bedroom, that works really quite nicely as well, and you can stand up in here quite happily. Storage pockets located in the back of the bedrooms, side of the bedrooms here, and there's also ability to toggle this little kind of flap up, so you can actually look out the back of the ventilation point if you want kind of a 360 degree introductory view of the tent itself. Actually, let's bring the camera in and we can talk through a load more features and get a bit more up close and personal with some of these. So, in fact, we'll walk around the outside first so you can see this whole new elongated beam situation. So this is going to be like your kind of rain door. So you can put your shoes in here before entering your lovely carpeted part of the tent itself. But as you can see how it sits really nicely. So that extra peak gives it extra height. We've got this rear ventilation point, as we've kind of mentioned, so you have this fully open to allow airflow in. You can zip that down to obviously get it completely sealed, or you do have a little kickstand so you can have it open, allow air to come into it and help sort of reduce condensation. Webbing straps on the back, obviously just help give it a bit more bouts and braces. And what you can also do as well, if you want to make it bigger, there are a toggle point located here. And that is basically so you can buy the additional canopy tarp that Outwell do, so that will help to increase the overall sort of into the covered space. So it is basically like almost like a roof with a couple of holes, and we've done a separate video on that as well. Nice sort of chunky sized beams in here. We've also got Outwell's sort of strapping system, so it's designed to stop the beam actually twisting within the actual sleeve. Helps give you better stability, so it makes the tent sort of a bit stronger in those windy conditions. And then we've got the hook track system on display here as well. So you can see how it just basically it's clipped on like a clothes peg onto that bit, and then we've kind of suspended it across 2 points just to make it nice and easy from that point of view. So again, it's a really nice little feature. We've also then utilised the little lighting on the bedroom, so you can do at home as well, which works really well. And we've got the storage pockets that we've mentioned. And then the carpets also have the ability of kind of clipping in as well to stop them sort of moving around too much. But you can see that little external point. That's the little point for the socket, and then actually there's a little pocket for the lighting system that slits in there quite snugly, and the beams push through and then go down externally down the outside. Nice dark bedrooms. Helps if I've just got a light on here to give a bit more lighting, as it's quite dark. And that's the little flaps you can sort of see to the outside if you really wanted to. Storage pockets located down the bottom, and so you can put things like keys, phones, and that sort of stuff quite nice and neatly out there. Zipped dividers, but there is a little bit of a gap underneath just because it's not fully zipped throughout that section. I think on the whole, the Montana range is a really quite strong range and something Outwell, like I said, I've run with for a number of years. I think the addition of keeping the smaller Montana 4 is a great little option. So when, like I said, for the more smaller families and those who want, I suppose, a more cozier point. I think, like I said, for me, the thing that I'm impressed is kind of the pack size and pack weight of it. Certainly when you look at all the features and the detail in everything, there's a lot going on. And I think, again, also from a price point of view, what you pay for what you get, I think is actually quite good value. You know, you add up all of the extra, the fabric you got, the ripstop material, the lighting system, which the little thing device you buy additionally for the record, the hook tracks, the zip dividers, the magnetic doors, the little brow side part for your sort of storage section, low level ventilation, storage pockets, cable entry points into the bedroom. All these little very premium features, I think, on the whole, works really well. Something small, compact, ideal for weekends away, or if you're, like I said, a couple a week, more than happily. But yeah, for more information or things about pack sizes, floor dimensions, that sort of stuff, you're welcome to check the link below this video. It'll take you straight through to a website. We've got all that information there at a touch of a button, as well as all the individual features listed as there, just in case you're you want everything to boot. But on the whole, I think nice tent, plenty of space for a small family, but done very well. And yeah, on the whole, I quite like it in whole. By all means, check out the Montana 6 video. We've done one on the bigger model, so you can see the contrast between the 4 and the 6 in terms of size. So that's definitely worthwhile. It is definitely a different tent and feels very different. I will say that. But on the whole, thank you very much for watching. That's been our little video review on the Montana 6 Air. Feel free to comment in the box below what you think about it as well. It's always great to interact with you guys and see what your verdicts are, be it good, bad, or indifferent for that matter. So hopefully we'll see you again soon, and thank you very much for watching.